Hello there.
Hello everyone.
It's Advent, and for the next few weeks, we're standing still around themes that, in general, come to the surface over Advent period. Almost traditional themes that announce themselves on a regular basis. Last week we spoke about hope, and this week we touch on the issue of peace. Which, such a small word, one syllable,
Yeah.
but
Peace. And looking at the world and looking at this time of year, one wonders whether there can be peace. The world is in turmoil. You hear of all the wars. You see around you your own circumstances. The Christmas time or Advent is a very often for people very emotional, difficult time. Everything is at a crescendo of busyness. So to talk about peace or to talk of peace seems to be maybe not yet, maybe another week or two into the holiday. But these things are there with us always.
Yeah, because now you say here at the end of the year, we're talking about peace. It's almost as if Christmas reminds us of peace and tranquility and so on. It comes to the fore, but we see wars.
We don't see much of it.
Yes. And can you think of a single year where it has been different?
Or era in the
Or
history
era.
of men, of
Yeah.
man.
It has always been, whether it is during times of war or famine, it doesn't matter, but Christmas takes place amidst much unrest, amidst much darkness. And you realize how much peace and hope and these things, they tie into each other and they play into each other. And because often when I think about peace, there is the bringing of light into dark situations. Because we talk about peace here over Christmas, but there's so much animosity, there's so much hurt, pain, deprivation, and darkness in people's inner being, that it's not peaceful.
So peace is not the result of everything going well.
It can't be, because we've never lived in an era where everything is peaceful. And I don't think we must make the mistake to say, well, then we wait for, or we try to avoid this life and only strive for the life here after where it will be peaceful. We are living this life. And that is the beauty of Christmas, God entering this life.
Yeah.
Not taking us out of this life, but entering into this life, shining His light into this life, into the darkness. And when the angels sing peace on earth, they sing that, and it's not as if they're ignorant. They sing that amidst parents that don't have a place in the inn, that stay in the manger, where the Israelites are under the heel of the Romans, where this baby shortly after has to flee, where there's the killing of other babies, it's not peace.
So the peace, so it's not dependent. Peace is not dependent on the reality around us. Peace is something that comes from another source.
Yes.
And the source is, it's God, but it's us bringing the light, like Jesus bringing the light, showing us something of bringing hope, bringing healing by who he was, by allowing, by God flowing out and into the world. So, and that is something that he said we would be able to do too. And
Because Jesus says, you are the light of the world.
yes, so peace, if you equate peace with light, and the opposite being darkness, sorrow, hurt, all of that, then being the light is the way of bringing peace.
Yes. And the most stable way to bring the light is to know the light and to let the light flow through us, and in the process becoming light. So to a large degree, and it's strange, I'm thinking of it now, for peace to take place in the world, for light to come into the world, it has to start with me. A lot of it depends on me.
Because the way we're talking is very abstract. So bringing it down to the nitty gritty. If peace is something that we have or share, not depending on our circumstances, then how practically does that play out?
Well, in terms, to a large degree, it's also a feeling of groundedness, a feeling of awareness of the underlying goodness and a belief in that goodness. To be anchored in that and constantly returning to it, because it's not as if we constantly getting it right, but to be aware of that. And in that process, this light flowing, and then in whatever way we can, distributing that light. I mean, there's such a lot of raw nerves at this time of year. People feeling neglected or whatever, but in small ways, through conversation, through visit, through a message, whatever.
A smile.
A smile.
Yeah. Acceptance.
A belief in somebody, in saying, I know next year you can sort this out, or it brings light.
Yeah.
And a deeper inner peace, because I think the darkness is also inner turmoil. There's a lot of turmoil.
And also, I think often the circumstances will be what it is. Whether we caused it by our decisions or whether it's something totally out of our control.
Yes.
The fighting what is, the fighting the reality, the not accepting what it is also cause a lot of discomfort, dis-peace, if you can call that, unrest in us. So even just to get to peace is to accept what is, and then to bring whatever light to the situation what I can. If I need to make better decisions, if I need to step by step improve whatever is wrong in my life and other people's lives, but to maybe in that sense just to let that unrest settle, because from there a lot of things can happen.
Yeah. And it is interesting to see how in the Bible, I mean, it is that peace is such an important theme here around Christmas, Advent, the birth of Christ, around that, and in the message of Jesus. But it's not only there. In the Psalms, you read about peace. And I'm thinking of Psalm 85, where it is this call on God to bring a lightness. It's the Israelites suffering, and they say, can't you bring a lightness? And here in about verse 11, it talks about the embracing of righteousness and peace, where it's beautiful because it's an extension or a forerunner of what we see in Jesus' message.
And by righteousness, we don't mean that everything will be eventually peaceful and all will be exactly the circumstances that we would say this is now peace.
No.
That is, the righteousness is something that we bring in our little small way.
Yes, and where we see people are wronged, to help them. It is so that there is more justice. It's actually a wide circle running from peace in all directions. But we're quite involved in that. That's, for me, that I would say is this year around peace. The message that I take away is I'm involved in this process.
I must be the peace worker.
Yes.
I cannot wait for peace to settle around me. It doesn't come from the outside. Yeah, that's what I take from it.
Yes. Yeah. We hope we didn't end it up being too abstract.
I hope so, that we don't. Yeah. And please give us some pointers here, ways that you think we can bring peace, be peace.
Thank you, everybody. If you travel, safe travels, and have a restful time in the days ahead.
Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.